Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 2 of our series 2 of Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration. And today, since we fixed a lot of things on Duna in the previous episode, and you saw probably my episode of Kerbal Engineering, we will be building a Buran, which we basically shown in a previous episode, and I also want to plan the transfer burn because we had some probes that were en route to Sarnus and Urlum in the Series 1 that have actually never gotten there, so today I want to actually start planning for the burns to get to Sarnus and to Urlum for our next set of probes. So I am adding transfers Kerbin to Sarnus, Kerbin to Urlum, Duna to Kerbin, Kerbin to Joule, etc., so that we have some sort of time plan. What do we want to do and when do we want to do it? As you can see, I have put a few and actually more windows that I plan to use, and I'm actually building a space dock for our interplanetary voyage, so that's something that we have built in the previous series, but we never launched it, so that's kind of the idea. Okay, this is the Buran which we have built in the previous episode of Kerbal Engineering, and I'm just gonna go build it, because we have constructed it, tested it, and so it's just now scheduled to be built. Okay. So those are the things that we have planned to get so that they get built. And there's one more thing that I want to add, and this is our interplanetary probes, and those are the ones going to Sarnus and Urlum. And I don't want to have them too high part count, and we have uncovered secrets of carbonite and even some carborundrum, so I do plan to use carborundrum drives to actually understand how do they work and how do they behave. That's the plan anyway. So, I'm just now assembling science equipment, and yes, I know I'm playing with a sandbox save, but I still want to earn my science before I start taking on more advanced drive like I don't know, Alcubierres and stuff. I still want to gather some more science, or at least pretend to get some more science to really earn those upgrades. And right now I'm trying to search for a nuclear reactor that would fit our bill, and I'm looking for near future electrical, but I think they have changed the models a bit, so I'm not exactly sure how much I would be able to use it. So I think I will use the one from Umbra Space Industries because it still provides what I want, and I find it to be actually quite good. I'm trying to see torch drives, and we have carborundrum fusion drives, but here it is, 1.25 meter. Not the biggest tech, and now I'm trying to find that experimental carbonite container, and actually guys, I think that Rover Dude actually removed it. No, it's carbonite and it cannot hold carborundrum. Hold on. So no, I cannot switch it to carborundrum. It's only this carborundrum. That's strange. Okay, I have to find another thing. Oh, and I think I see... Let's go through the fuel tanks just briefly, and I think I know the one that he has are spherical, and I'm looking for the fuel tanks from Umbra Space Industries because, I mean, after all, he is the one who has carborundrum, so... And container, So these guys can actually hold some carborundrum. And I don't want to fill them completely because that would be like cheating, but in small quantities we said that we could manufacture some carborundrum in our accelerators and filters, so yeah. I figure that one, and let's put 2 nuclear waste containers, and then I want to be putting some radiator panels maybe. Hold on, I'm just checking if there's anything else from... No, it's still this carbonite. I just wanted to double check. Carry can... Okay, whatever. By the way, I'm showing this in 3 times time acceleration because I don't want to be spending too much time building stuff. Okay, some thermal control system, let's put it here. And I think that looks good enough, don't you? So, I'm trying to tweak a little bit. I do want delta V to be around 10-ish, but it seems that I can only have 6 or 12, and 6 is a little bit too low, so I want to have 12, because I don't want to be executing like stupid stuff like aerobraking maneuvers, etc, etc. I really want to, you know, do it properly. And I believe our cyclotrons that we have in the orbit are capable of generating some carborundum experimental drive and so on. So let's just say, for the sake of story, that I managed to make it in small quantities. In the bigger quantities we will for sure be going and mining it in the orbit around Eeloo. Okay, let's put I just want to make sure that I put a decoupler. I don't know if I need a decoupler or I just need a fairing. I haven't worked with the 113 yet, so I'll just sync those two in a little bit. And then let's put a fairing. And something along these lines. I think it will work pretty nicely. Cool. I don't like confetti deploy, so I prefer clamshell. So we put that one on, and then we put some fuel tank, and then we will be putting the rocket engine. Nothing fancy, I'm thinking skipper. Oh, that one is 1.22. Thrust to weight. Well, maybe I think it could work. But one more thing I want to put SAS, and then I'll rebuild a fairing. Something along these lines. And I'm worried that this engine might be a little bit flippy. So I want to be putting a little bit more. Yeah, as you can see, center of lift is way in front of center of mass, so I want to be putting more fins. I don't know what is it with center of lift and center of mass these days with these rockets, but I definitely feel that you need way more fins than you did before. Okay, that's it. And I believe once those probes get built, I think it should be time to actually launch them. So I also want to be building a Buran, and I want to duplicate our outer rim probes, because I first want to launch our 2 probes, one going to Sarnus, and another one going to Urlum. And after that I might be launching Buran if we have enough time in our episode, and I think I'll probably will. But so I launched both of them, and I prefer to show them same time, because they're exactly the same, just being launched at different times of day, and I feel like split screen works nicely, but I was even thinking picture-in-picture would work even better. And I very much like the atmospheric one to the right, so I think I'm gonna show that one in full screen, and the smaller one that has been daytime launch I'll show like in picture-in-picture, so you can both track what was happening with both probes. Okay, we are slowly coming up, and as you can see they have pretty much similar launch profile. And yeah, let's switch to the screen. I think it looks much nicer, and scatter and God rays are really making the launch look really beautiful. Both of our probes going successfully up into the atmosphere. Our apoapsis is climbing, our altitude is climbing, and our orbital velocity or surface velocity is passing 500s, which is great. I'm waiting till the apoapsis height comes up to around 100, then I'll probably cut down the engines and prepare for the circularization. This is really a beautiful sight. I cannot say, guys, how much I'm enjoying playing with 1.1.3 after 0.90. This is just amazing. Okay, let us just set up the circularization maneuver node. I'm just making sure to put it on the apoapses, and 100 by 100 will work in both cases, and they won't be sticking around too long in those orbits anyway, because I will be shipping them off to Sarnus and Urlum shortly. I think we have 30 days to Sarnus and 50 to Urlum. So, oh yeah, the coupler broke on this one. Okay, never mind. Let us just extend the flaps and extend the thermal panels and activate the reactor. And then we will be staging our engine, but we have to first connect the long dish antenna to the long-range satellites. Perfect. Staging the engine, and we have an circularization burn in 25 seconds, which should only take 24 seconds, so better burn time once again coming to the rescue. I really love that mod. That is such a tiny mod and such a huge benefit from it. Okay, circularizing. This is, by the way, a beautiful screenshot. I might even use it for our episode. Okay, let's call you Urlum Rim Explorer, Urlum Explorer 1. Perfect. Okay, and the other one I called Sarnus. So, like I said, both of them got launched at the same time. So, and we have some time in our episode, so let us ship off Buran. I think that would be much more interesting for you guys rather than me shipping one probe after the other, because after all they are the same and they look the same. Okay, our Buran is at the launch pad. By the way, guys, this is the, I think, second time that I'm launching a Buran type vehicle that I have created. So the first time I was doing a little bit during the tests, and let us clear the crew. From the crew, I want one pilot, one engineer, and one scientist. So let's put Dengard, or two pilots, and Valentina, and I want Elbart, so he would be the engineer. Two pilots and an engineer. I actually don't need scientist. Okay, this is our Buran orbiter, and I just want to set target to the Kerbin Orbital Lab because we are supposed to deliver a spectrometron module to it. I'm just checking if I have all my mods set up properly. Perfect. Let's a little bit time accelerate. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Setting throttle to max, and we have liftoff. Successful takeoff from the KSC. Dengard, Valentina, and Elbart are looking, well, let's say that Valentina is the happiest of the bunch. But come on, she is a Jeb counterpart, she is a badass, so yeah, awesome. Okay, climbing up to the orbit, and we are passing the 10-kilometer mark. Our liquid fuel boosters are almost out. They're on like last quarter, so I'm just putting on the lights just for visual reasons sake, and we will be ditching off our boosters shortly. Okay, first set of boosters separating successfully. Second set of boosters. By the way, this is the way how Buran initially disposed of its boosters. Sets 2 by 2, and they were in parallel. Kicking the gas on our rocket just to make sure that our apoapsis is set around 100-ish. And then I think I launched a little bit too early because I was pretty much unsure on my launch profile, so I think I will be passing a little bit ahead of the station. Well, what can you do? Let's put a circularization burn, and in doing so I will also try to see if I can match a little bit orbit so that I get a rendezvous with the station. But my first priority is actually now to just get orbital, and then we will take care of the rendezvous. Cobble? No, I don't want cobble. Okay. 1065 meters per second to burn, performing the roll. By the way, guys, I have no idea how much delta V Buran orbiter and how much delta V I will need to actually rendezvous, so I might actually use the fuel in the rocket itself to be able to rendezvous with the station. I know it's not exactly as the Buran orbiter would have done, but come on, this is my first time flying with this kind of, or performing a rendezvous with this kind of craft, so I have to test its limits a little bit. 100 meters per second, and well, I would say this qualifies as we are orbital, so it's only now a matter of setting up the rendezvous with the space station. So where shall we do it? Add ascending node? Sure. Let's see how we can set it up. A little bit of fiddling, first class fiddling, and then see how well we can align those two. Oh, and here we go. Wow, that was easier than expected. And the better burn time already tells me how much is the burn gonna be and how long does it take to the node. This is beautiful. Okay, in that case I will just enjoy looping the loops around until I get a correct burn. And it will happen in 3 hours and 40 seconds. Okay, so in the end I decided to cut the looping the loops around and just get straight to the burn. Because after all, that's what we all want to see. We don't want to see loops around Kerbin now, do we? Okay, this rocket is a little bit more tedious than I would have wanted, so I will probably get rid of it at some point. I think like now, and move away, and let us just briefly use our Buran. We have 800 meters per second, which I think should be plenty to rendezvous with the space station. Okay, let us just briefly tweak the maneuver nodes visually. Here, come on, a little bit more, a little bit more. And this looks about right. Perfect. Killing the RCS, just leaving the SAS. I'd like to think that Dengard was performing the takeoff while Valentina will be performing the rendezvous. So yeah, 2 expert pilots, both in their respective fields. Okay. And it says target at 0.4 kilometer in 116 seconds. Guys, I'm gonna repeat it once again. I really love better burn time. It's incredibly useful. Okay, let us just now perform our rendezvous dance. 0.2 in 105 seconds, and we have 41 meters per second to burn in terms of relative velocity to the target. Great. Let's see if we can capture a nice screenshot. Something along these lines. Okay, 37 meters per second, and we are 2 kilometers out. Let's open the cargo bay doors, because in the cargo bay we have the docking port, so we will be docking underneath the Kerbin Orbital Lab. 38 meters per second, so I'm starting to burn. I really want to decelerate before I get too close to the station. After all, we have thrust to weight of 0.25, which is not exactly stellar, but is enough to slow us down. 14 meters per second. And by the way, I'm showing this in, I think, in 2 times acceleration, just so that it doesn't take too long. So, screenshot, and let's burn off the rest of the relative speed. After all, we are now at 4.2 meters per second at 100 meters distance, so I really want to put that relative velocity in check. 0.2, 0.1, great. Okay, Val, the helm is all yours. Please perform the docking with the Kerbin Orbital Lab and with the bottom port. Okay. Time to do the initial alignments. 115 meters to go, and let's align the orbiter. I'm deliberately trying to avoid to call it shuttle, because it's not a shuttle, it's a Buran orbiter. Okay, we are aligned, and let us just now more or less align. So let's just now go forward. So our relative velocity is, well, let's say 0 minus 12. So I think we're going in the right direction. We just need to make sure that we are on the way down. Actually, we're going up when we should be going down. So yeah, okay, this sounds much better. Visual inspection, and I'm sorry that we are looking in the orbiters behind, but I really want to keep also visual tracking towards the station, so yeah. Oh, and a little bit too far. By the way, this craft is not properly RCS balanced, because I mean the craft itself I tried to replicate as accurate as it would be. It's dancing a little bit back and forth, but I guess it's the SAS dance, so I don't want to get too much muffled into it. Okay. Steady hand, Val, steady hand. Perfect. Coming along great, coming along great. And oh, a little bit too far, a little bit too far. Doesn't seem like it from this angle though. Okay, and yeah, from this angle it does look a little bit too far. Great. Yeah, you can see how can perspective be tricky sometimes. But we are correctly aligned, so it's only a matter of small puffs here and there, and everybody looks thrilled. Dengard, Valentina, and Elbart. Okay, come on, Val. A little bit more. And capture. Awesome. I really like this picture. Actually, this will be my picture for the episode, guys. Sorry. For those of you that thought it might be the probes or something. Okay, great. That being said, we still have payload to deliver, and I've only noticed that I cannot deliver it on the side of the orbiter, so I will have to put it behind the cyclotron. So our payload will be cyclotron and then spectrometron and another cyclotron, because I plan to have 2 cyclotrons. Okay, taking out payload, and for this I'm using remote tech, but then again, since we have almost 0 delay, so we don't need to really care that much about it. And we have docking ports on both sides, so we can use whichever one we want. Going well so far. Screenshot, another one, because why not? Okay, and let's see. Puff here, puff there. Perfect. Slowly aligning, and once we dock, I think, guys, once we dock, I will be calling it for the episode. Please like if you liked, hit the subscribe button for more KSP content that is coming soon, and please let me know what you like about Series 2. I would really appreciate the feedback. I for once like it very much, but playing it, but then also I would like your feedback in how much you like watching it. Okay, great. Another couple of screenshots, because it doesn't hurt. It looks really, really, really beautiful. Okay guys, with that thing in mind, I'd like to, let's put some lights on. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Once again, like if you like, hit subscribe for more KSP content that is coming soon. And thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks, signing off.